Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. Time to shed some light on men's basketball as we talk with forward Luke Loehr. Big week for you guys coming up here. 2 home games for the folks to come out and see. You guys got the win at Bucknell the first time around. What do you have to do to try and duplicate that again? Because like you all, they're a desperate basketball team coming in here on Wednesday night.
Yes, sir. Both of us are on some losing streaks right now. But what we talked about in practice is one of the big things is taking care of the ball. Up there, we had, I think, 20 turnovers, and still we're somehow able to come away with the win. So our biggest focus right now is just taking care of the ball in practice. And as Coach Joe has talked about, we have to come together. I mean, we're on a little bit of a losing stretch right now, but we need to somehow come together as a team and play for each other and somehow go out there and grind out a win.
Now, the fact that you all have had a solid amount of success, this is the first time you all have lost 3 straight all year, but the fact that you all can point back to some successful times, does that make it easier to try and replicate that or harder because you're trying so desperately right now? Literally every possession. I mean, Saturday, you guys are right there knocking, heads with the number 1 team in the league. So you're not far away from being where you want to be. You're this close, but how do you make sure you do that within the realm of the game and almost sometimes try not too hard, because sometimes trying too hard can also be a detriment.
I think looking back and knowing that we can beat teams like Bucknell and we have had success in the past is definitely helpful. Like you said, I know it is tough because right now the pressure definitely on for us to win. So it's a little bit of both, I'd say.
Right. As an athlete, and certainly within the team concept, the way you all play, how important is confidence in everyone doing the right thing and doing the things that they can do, play to their strengths? How important is that right now, especially in a stretch like this where I'm sure as a competitor you start to doubt things a little bit?
Confidence is definitely huge. I mean, the coaches tell us all the time that it's more of a mental game than it is physical. So I think a big thing, too, is that we need to have all of our teammates that are encouraging each other, because encouragement is huge. Not criticizing, but encouraging them, like telling them, like holding them accountable at the same time, but staying positive, I think, is a big thing.
I was going to say, for players like you and your brother who are upperclassmen, when Evan's the only senior, how important is it for you all as a group to lead here and lead everybody to make sure that that work ethic and the standard in practice doesn't drop off? That way performance in the game doesn't drop off.
I say for us juniors is definitely big, since Evans are only firstie. So Cam's more of like a vocal leader, so he's very good at leading out loud and like holding guys accountable that way. But I think Alec and I are better in terms of like leading by example. Like we show up every day to practice and we work. Like we have like a great work ethic. We work super hard and we show those guys like each day you have to come to practice ready to work and you have to work hard. And it's going to be tough some days, but you still got to somehow find a way to put forth your maximum effort, because that's the only way that we're going to help get better as a team.
How cool is it to be able to literally share minutes with your brother? I mean, you're both getting a chance to contribute to the team now, and I imagine that's got to be pretty cool for both of you right now.
I mean, growing up, he's obviously my best friend. We've done everything together. It's an unreal experience, and I think we're just both blessed that Coach D has given us the opportunity to play together at such a prestigious institution like the Naval Academy, and being able to actually be out on the court with him, it's an unreal experience. It's something that I'm going to cherish forever. I know he will too.
I was going to say too, now, who's responsible for him? His ambition level has risen up here this year, because not only you stand out there on the wing, you're ready to catch and shoot. Young fellas put the ball on the floor. He's driving it in this year. What have you seen from him where he's been so much more aggressive within his game, and that's now allowed him to contribute a lot more?
You think about Alec? No, I don't know. It was like something this year. He just like flipped the switch in the beginning of the season where he just took like one practice or one. I think it was our first scrimmage at GW where he was thrown in there and he had like a couple of blocks, and those little like confidence plays on defense I think helped just get him going. And he's definitely been, as you said, more aggressive on offense, driving it in there, getting some offensive rebounds. I think he's found out his role on this team is rebounding on offense and defense, playing good defense and coming in and making those little effort plays when he can. And he's definitely been doing that this year. So I'm just proud of him.
For you all as a team, you all have been, for the most part, in the upper half of the standings most of the season. That certainly put a target on your back. But as you all now head down the stretch, what's the key here, one game at a time, to try and get back to where you all were? Because I know you really have big goals now. I mean, you've been close to the top here 2 of the last 3 seasons.
For us, I mean, we know that we can compete with any team in this league. So I think we have to take it one game at a time, focus on Bucknell now, we beat Boston up at Boston in a close one. So this Saturday, I know they're gonna be ready to bring it to us, but we're also confident that we can beat them, and we know we can. I think just taking it one game at a time and just looking at the bigger picture. Like I know we're on a 3-game losing streak now, but we know we can play with anybody. So if we take it one game at a time, we keep chipping away at the standings, win by win. I feel like we'll be in a good position by then.
Is that harder to do? And obviously, all coaches preach that, and especially when you've had a little bit of a rough patch. That the only thing we worry about today is practice. Tomorrow we'll worry about the game. We'll worry possession by possession. We'll just take it. Is it easier said than done, though, in terms of that?
I think it is easier said than done. It's definitely hard when they're preaching to us at practice, just like take it day by day, day at a time. But then we come in and we see the standings on the board every day in the Patriot League. So I think it's definitely hard to just stay in the moment, but that's what we have to do if we want to continue to be successful.
All right, big fella. Appreciate the time today. Best of luck
Thank
this
you.
week as you all take on Bucknell and BU. As Luke was talking about, they won up at Boston University. Ironically, Navy seems to win always up there at Case Gym. BU's never lost at Alumni Hall, so the Mids are hoping to turn those tables coming up this week. It's Luke Loehr joining us here on the Navy Sports Magazine.